Hello everybody, Panzer Penguin here with another Factorio video. I've decided to start over. I was hoping to play a seed ISOR, but I think it's for a different version where you basically start on an island with a peninsula version, a little bit thicker than this. So I thought, oh, cool, little island, luckily I can get off. That's a pretty useless little area. And just looking at this view, looks like we got coal, we got stone, we got iron, and plenty of copper, and plenty of trees. I'll zoom. Oops, get stuck in the water there. So, as always, we'll start by building us a better pickaxe. And, I don't know if any of you watch my other videos. I haven't linked them anywhere on Factorio, but basically this is a game all about resource management, and the goal is to build technology and basically giant factories to automate things for you until you can build a missile to launch into the air, which either then kills all the native inhabitants of this planet so that your people can come and colonize, or it just lets your people know. I don't quite know what the exact story is. This game is still in beta. Or not even in beta, it's an alpha, I should say. This is the experimental version, so it's the unofficially unreleased patch that they make available. Helps them work out bugs and kinks before they upgrade it. As we look over here, even more copper. And so I'm going to have to build lots and lots of walls, I believe. We'll hope that we can use all these, let's take a look at this mini-map here for now. Hopefully we can use some of these lakes and things as defenses. Looks like we've got a enemy base down here. Looks like it's a small one, so once I upgrade my weapons, I'll go deal with that. And hopefully by then we'll have expanded some of our view. So yeah, we'll get to it. Like always, we'll start building a iron mine and a furnace. We're going to need to chop some trees. Again, I'm using a few mods here. You may vaguely notice it may be easier. There's a large white circle around me. That's more to allow you guys to see, because if I didn't have this circle of light around me, you can see the sort of brighter light, this little triangle of light. That would be about the only thing you'd be able to see, is whatever was in there. Nighttime gets dark, and dark videos on YouTube get even darker. So I did find a mod that improves the light. It also allows me to build some what they call balloon lights, like you see on road construction and things like that. So once I research the technology, we'll be able to see our base a little bit more clearly. So I'm collecting wood, and we'll destroy this already destroyed forest. And the reason I'm doing that, even though you see all the coal, is that I like to use wood early on as a means to power my what are they? I guess they're burner drills. Is that what they call them? Burner mining drills. Basically, it's a drill that uses coal to power itself, or fuel, or wood, I should say. And the goal is to only use these temporarily. And by that I mean temporarily until I get enough resources to be able to produce steam engines and electricity, at which point I'll switch over my drills to electrical power. So I didn't collect a whole lot of fuel, but at least we'll get that going. While that's going, we'll clear out some more of these trees here. Normally I'd also have to worry about mining some stone early on so that I can build furnaces, but because of these rocks, and I'll zoom in, you guys some feedback would be appreciated. Either leave a comment on YouTube or on the forums, but just let me know how the videos are. I don't know if it's better for me to be zoomed in like this while playing this game so you guys can see better. Because you can see there is a little dude with a little miner hat on, and he will change his appearance as I upgrade armor. But at the same time, because of the long reach mod, I can zoom out like this and reach everything I need to. Basically, this mod lets me touch with my mouse and interact with it, whatever I can see on my screen. So, I should be able to, yeah. So I can. Doesn't matter where my view is, but so these are trees that I have been picking up. They're tiny. There's only 2 wood apiece, as opposed to a big tree, which is 4. But as you can see, it takes twice as long to build. And I forgot to turn my clock on. That is not my alarm. But I found this cool little clock app, which, if I'm smart enough to turn it on, allows me to keep an eye on how long I've been recording. So this one may be a little over 30 minutes, if there aren't any interruptions. Yeah, so you should see much more consistent in length videos from me. So probably more of them. I think I will pick up my Rome game again tomorrow. I've been playing it for a couple weeks, so it's nice to switch over and play something different every now and then. But I would imagine that it's probably a bit more interesting of a game than this one, or at least this early game. So I've got plenty of stone, which will allow me to build more of those coal burners. So, well, that turned out to be perfect. I do need 4 of them, and I'll show you once they're built why I need 4 of them. It's a cool little tactic, I suppose you'd call it. I think we'll build our steam engines coming down here. So I'll zoom in to clear up this stuff. The reason I'm building, well, I guess they already are built. So we'll see, or I'll show you. I'm also doing this without any music on. So I may try and find something to put below it. So by putting 1 piece of fuel into this one, generates enough power for it to pick up a piece of coal, which it then keeps for itself, and then puts 1 into this one, and and because these arrows all feed into each other, these all feed each other. So as we'll see now, the red bar is, it's consuming 1 piece of coal, and this is how much it has in it. And now it's up to 3 stored because it's still burning away the first coal. So with 4 of them going, I make a pretty good bonus on coal, which is how I'm going to be powering a lot of my early machines. And that's not to say that when I get electricity that I don't need coal anymore, because that's not true, actually. I need to use coal to power my steam engines. At least, yeah. I mean, there's no other option to do that. As far as I don't think you can stop feeding your burners the coal because they then run out of electricity, and you need I'm calling them burners, they're actually boilers. You need your boilers for obvious reasons. You need to boil the water and get it up to 100 degrees Celsius. I believe water starts at 15 degrees Celsius, so it takes, I believe, 13 or 14 boilers to get water up to that temperature, and then 10 steam engines is the common ratio. So 13 or 14 boilers to 10 engines is what you need to produce electricity. I will eventually be able to research, which opens up the door to much more automated items. It allows me to harvest solar power through solar panels. I'll be building radars to expand the map and reveal to me where the biters are. That's what the name of the natives of this planet are. They are giant bugs. They don't like pollution, so when my pollution cloud, and I just turn that on, I usually always play with it on. You just turn it on by pressing the Alt button, and you can see what's being produced in all your items, and you can see how big your cloud is. So if we look at the map real quick, even though I don't have much, it's a pretty big cloud of pollution. Apologize, my mouse kind of spazzed out. So you can see this red cloud kind of extends. Stop doing that, mouse. Extends, even goes down. So this, you can see this tree zone here has kind of blocked off the pollution, which is good because it's once the pollution hits this little village, they'll send little biters to come up and attack me. So I will have to think about putting some sort of defenses down here or over here in this section. And then I'll need to expand my map so I can see where all the other villages are. So that's always an interesting thing to deal with, is the biters. They also have spitters and other types of enemy. They're not just one type. The biters, as you can imagine, bite you. They're melee units, while the spitters are long-range units. I will be able to research and build stomos, and gun turrets, and eventually laser turrets. So I'll put 100 wood in there. Why not? So I got plenty of wood there, so we'll collect the iron from there. Now we want to build... We'll build 3 of those and 3 more. Actually, we'll start a production of stone as well. So obviously you can't have a iron feed iron. You need to put coal in yourself. This will greatly increase my output over there. We'll do coal, and since we actually, it's not coal, this is stone. Apologies for being stupid. But this, even though we don't have the technology yet, will turn stone into bricks. And I'm going to need bricks to build bricks walls, which is why we do that. And we'll do... so you can see these tabs are broken down into logistics, all the moving parts that transfer things, production, things that produce things, parts that you need for both of those, and weapons. Clearly a pistol isn't going to get me very far in this game. So one of the first things I'll probably research will be the improved weapons, so that I can defend myself with a, I believe that it's a submachine gun is the first weapon you can really build. And then I'll also be producing or research shotguns. Shotguns do more armor piercing damage than submachine guns. So they're good for attacking the biter bases, because that's about the only way you can take out their actual spawn bases, spawn points. I'll probably build... Well, once I build a radar, I need to power it somehow, so I'll have to keep the first one. I'll probably put it in the southern reaches of my base, but I'll have to build it close to my power source. Which I think, since I have a thing of coal right here, let me just take a look at the map. I mean, I could build it over here. Come out, oh, maybe I'll do that. Well, this is a nice big area to build in right here. But I could always bring the copper and iron down over, but there's trees right there, so I think I'll build my production facility sort of in here. You know, bring coal down. This coal's kind of in the way, but we can live with that. So you can see with the view, so with Alt press you can see that I'm making copper plates in these. If I turn it off, it just shows you what they are. Otherwise, I got plenty of coal. How much iron do I have? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I'm not mistaken, that should be enough boilers. Also going to need an offshore pump. I'm going to need copper to build that. Since we're gonna eventually build multiples here. So we put our pump in the water, and we'll put 14 burners down, and you see they're out of power. That's okay. Nothing we can do about that. We'll use our long reach. We'll put coal down here in our bar so that we can control right click and fill everything back up from afar. That one actually might still be burning wood. We'll grab more coal out of there. We'll see, we can only build 5 of those. Maybe I didn't grab. There we go. So I still need a whole bunch more steam engines. I'm also going to want to build some underground pipes, and you'll notice that this game is very two-dimensional, where well, the objects I guess are 3D because you can see it doesn't matter which way you rotate them. But as you can see, I don't have a jumping ability, so I can't cross over this. So if I have my steam engines coming down here, it's going to be a bit of a journey to get around. So by building an underground pipe right at the end of this, I'll probably make it at least 2 squares wide. That way I can have my conveyor belt. No, that's not a great place to put it. I was thinking I would be able to put a second row next to this one, but I won't. So we'll just move this over here. As far as I'm aware, there's no, the water doesn't run out. It's endless. So this area is clear enough, I believe. So you'll see how we're gonna, put an underground pipe. Put about 2 blocks, because the further we extend it, the cooler the water will come after popping out of the pipes. So that's how big a steam engine factory can be. Obviously, I'm going to double it up by putting more. I screwed up again. Apparently I can't multitask in this game, which is not good. So I believe it's only 3 is needed to go out that far. Yep. So we're going to make 2 rows of 5. And this is one of the benefits of having this particular mod and this long reach. And I didn't mean to take the coal out of there. So now I should be able to build. Oh, so close. And once we get this going, we'll be well on our way to being actually able to generate some power. So you can see that they're flashing right now. So the boilers are telling me they have no fuel, while the steam engines are telling me they have no electricity. There's no power output, and I actually have to connect these all together using electrical wires, like telephone poles, electrical poles. And once these are actually powered, you'll see steam coming out, and all these parts will start moving. Again, if I turn Alt off, I get the regular route. If I turn it on, it tells me that I've got water going through these pipes, which is a useful bit of information, actually, as later in the game when I'm able to harvest oil. With the oil refinery, there's 3 or 4 different types of liquids that will be coming out of those oil refineries. So I did pick up the stone, even though I or the stone bricks, even though I can't build the walls yet. Once I am able to generate some electricity, though, I'll be able to build a little mini research facility, which will let me start expanding my building capabilities. Alright, so that's all set. So now, what I really need to do is build a ton of iron, so we'll put some more miners out here, which I probably should have done earlier. These aren't the most efficient, but they're not going to be mining 1,000 iron before I can replace them with electrical drills. So the beginning ratio for the mining and furnaces is 1 drill to 1 furnace. When I switch these drills over to electrical drills, though, it becomes 1 drill to 2 furnaces. So it becomes more efficient, and I'll be able to start building my factory, my first little starter factory. We get a lot of coal, we'll get more stone bricks. We're up to almost to 100. So you can see I can build electric and mining drills. I'm going to hold off. Let's build another one of those. And some repair, because we'll probably be attacked at some point. I'll actually build some ammunition, because we'll need it as well. Let's see. I need to build a ton of transport belts. I'll show you why. And I'm also going to need to build a bunch of these as well. So I need even, iron is probably your #1 item that you consume. Now, I could do this one of 2 ways. In this case, so for now we'll do that. Just trying to think of the best way to connect this up over there. I guess that's just go straight out. We'll put an electrical one here to feed this eventually. So you may be wondering why the conveyor belt is a little bit set off from the actual boilers. I think we went with 13, but that's what these little grabby arms are. This will be the only time I use this particular type. As you can see by the arrow and the bar. The bar is where it takes it from, the arrow is where it puts it. So I did do 14. After this I'll be using these orange inserters, which are electrical based. These coal ones basically have enough stored fuel in them to grab some fuel to fuel themselves and then start putting it in the boilers. So if we're lucky, you can see it's nighttime again. The boilers are all flaring up because they're, they got flames on the inside. Rule of thumb with these conveyor belts is you never have enough. I think we'll do something like this. Oh, I lined that up perfectly. That's very rare for me to do, just to get a perfect lineup like that. Usually I'm shorter along and I have to adjust accordingly. So we're going to build... I guess we can't build 2 more because we don't have... We're going to build 2 more, and these are only going to be temporary. Hopefully I can get my electricity up and running before I have to end this video. These are the electric poles. I hate these poles, they're not very good. There is technology that lets you build bigger and better ones, but that's a bit down the line, which one I'll be able to clean things up. As you can see, though, they have a what do you call a base? Anything within that base of range becomes powered. So it's a very limited range, and as you can see, they themselves have a limited range on how far they can be from each other before their connection is broken. So that connects them all up. And I like making nice straight lines. So if you have them selected, you move to one you've already placed, left click and hold. It automatically places them where you can space them. I may have... Oh, no, that kind of just worked. And I like everything in my base to be nice and neat. That does not always happen. Oh, and it's a little bit hard seeing it over the copper. The biters will attack these, so when they do start attacking, I will have to come out to various places and check them. Otherwise, they could potentially power down my whole operation. You may notice I built a ton of these. I still have 30 left, but I will be using them quite a lot in general because this is basically the main way to power everything right now, and I did that again. And I don't have the access to the better electrical drills. So now we're going to want to build... So if I right-clicked, it would multiply everything by 5 because it does. Right-clicking on a build order does 5. So this way, even though I clicked them on individually, it makes them individually faster. So I can start deploying them essentially. Put the first one there. As you can see, it's not connected to any power. Oh man, I am just having a good day right now with this. Well, that could have been a little bit better. I take that back. I spoke too soon. So shift left click is what puts a full stack, not a half stack. You see I'm not the best or the most learned at this game. As you can see, it does put the item on one side of the belt, so you can have... And I thought you could only have 2 different items on a belt, but I've seen videos where people have multiple things dropping onto the belt, so as long as there's a gap, they can put them on there. Which gives me some ideas. Well, not really. I'm lying. I don't have any ideas on what sort of possibilities that would give me. So what I can also do, as you can see, if I stand on here, I actually ride the belt. So I'll just do... So I'm dropping the quantity of coal in my inventory onto the belt. As you can see, I have more than enough coal in my inventory to be able to afford to do that. That's not what I meant to press. Guess I don't have to press, I just press C. So hopefully this will be enough. So if you look over here, we can see the little grabby arms are grabbing coal. That one up there just gave it to himself. These ones down here are the priority, so these ones are already filled up. And if we look here, our water temperature is rising. It's up to 30 degrees. Over here it's 15 degrees, so we can see our burners are starting to produce. You can see some smoke rising up out of them. You may also see that coal starting to stack up here now because of all that coal I manually placed. Come on. Oh. So I think I actually... Oh, there's some biters. Do you see them right there running? I'm shooting them with my pistol. As you can see, not very effective, and that one's attacking me. So we know our pollution cloud has hit their little base. Not what I actually meant to click, but it looks like they actually destroyed one of these. What am I doing with this one? Should I do this? So you know what? We're gonna build one more of these arms. And for now, where did it? There it is for now. So we'll use it to power itself, but it's also just going to start dropping coal into this box. As you can see, lots can be stored. It's not the fastest. It may be moving as fast as it's producing. Over here, we'll start seeing, yep, our coal's building up, which is fine because once we get power going, that will change rapidly. So now we'll put one of these guys here. Spend all our hard-earned press the wrong button again. Not much iron left there. So then we gotta position these one further out. We will use the electrical hands on these ones. Not a perfect placement on. Actually, well, no, it's still not perfect. That would be the perfect spot when we expand it. Again. So now you can see as the coal is produced, the hands fight each other for it. Once they fill up though, the other one will take over, and since we got the ratio going, it should be all good. So I did mention we want to get science going. I'm going to build a little science bubble. I don't know what they're really called. Maybe it's a research lab. Not 100% sure. Not all that bothered, to be honest. And where do I want to put this? We'll do something like that. Oops. We'll get rid of these. I wish you could break these down. I don't think you can. If you can, I don't know how to do it. So because we have 2, we do need the 4. So the first one's there. Again, not the most ideal look. Now we got that going, so don't have to worry about fueling those anymore. I do have to worry, however, about the bugs. So we go over here. If I'm smart and place this right, we want, oops. You want to build some research. I need to build some red bubbles. The way this will eventually work will be something like that. We'll need that. We'll need that. Well, I guess I can't really do my automated because I need to research automation. And I'll come back to you with another video right after this short intermission.